Okay, hello, here I am. Let's try to make an experiment, a recording video with my face on it. Okay, I don't know why there should be my face, but it seems that many people do it, so it's fashion. Okay, this time we will learn, we'll see some very practical example of smart contract. Well, don't expect them to be real contracts. There will be small programs because we are just at the very beginning of learning how to write things in Solidity. First of all, go to Zoom remix.ethereum.org. Okay, where you will find an interface more or less like this one. Okay, remove everything which is written here. Okay, and let's write our first program. Sorry if I have already written them, but it's to avoid 200,000 spelling mistakes, which I will for sure commit. Okay, so Remix, as we've said before, it's a web interface. We let you write programs. The main drawback of this interface, I think, is that there is no way to save your files. So Remix remembers automatically the files. The problem is that when you change browser or change computer, well, don't find the files anymore. So I suggest you to copy and paste into a text file. Not Word, please, a plain text file, Notepad for the Windows user people, and the text edit for the Mac people. Okay, so let's start with the very first file. Well, just a little suggestion. This is to increase and decrease the font. Let's use a big font. Okay, well, these are just things. You can load the files. It's pretty strange because you can load the file from your computer, but you cannot save them. Okay, if you want to get a new one, just click here. The extension is .sol, it means Solidity. Okay, the first line should be always an indication of which compiler do you want. Solidity, it's a programming language which is at a very early stages, so it sometimes changes the rules. So you may specify the compiler in which you have written the rules. For example, I've written this one using the compiler 0424. It's compatible with 0424. You can specify also things like this one, or this one, which means everything up to 0.5. So I'm using compiler 0.4. Currently, I think we are at 0.6. However, there is not too much change, but sometimes something slightly change and your contract fails to deploy or something like that. So let's stick with compiler 0424 for the moment. I will choose it from here. A huge list of compilers. 0424, not the nightly build, okay, which are things that young nerds build during the night, so God knows what you get. So, okay. So this is just an indication which compiler to use. It will refuse to as you can understand, it's a compiled language. So it's not like Python, which is interpreted. It's compiled. It means that you must write all your program completely. Okay, and then check whether it's correct. I know it's not nice, it's not user-friendly. Interpreted programs are more user-friendly, but it's something that you load on the blockchain. You can't load on the blockchain half program, as we do for Python. Okay, the program is written as follow. Contract, it's a keyword. The name of your contract. Doesn't matter what, I usually keep the same name as the file name, but it doesn't matter. In the blockchain, this name will not appear. In the blockchain you will have only an address, so it doesn't really matter. Then curled braces. Well, if you have a Windows computer, probably you don't have too many problems. If you have a Mac and the terrible German keyboard, it's Ctrl Alt 8 or Strg Alt 8. Okay. The interface, as you can see, is pretty nice because it colors the keyword. Whenever you open a bracket, it closes the corresponding one. Okay, this is the name of the contract. Then, int public a, semicolon. You can notice that every instruction ends with a semicolon. Okay. In theory, you could put several instructions on the same line, but you must be very evil to do it. So it's not like Python, which one instruction per line. Here, instructions end with a semicolon, so in theory you could go on, but it's pure evilness to do it. Int means that a is an integer. Okay. Public means that it can be accessed from the outside. Okay, sometimes you need to declare a variable which are used only inside the contract. so cannot be accessed by the outside because it's just for internal users. Public means that it can be used for outside. Okay. Solidity needs you to declare the variables that you're going to use. So you must tell, if you don't declare A and then you're going to use it, it doesn't work. Okay. This is especially important because each variable uses gas on the blockchain. So you must be very sure of what you're using, so you must declare them. Okay. Function. You will define variables and functions. Functions are things with which the external users can operate. In this case, the function is called setA. You can assign the names that you want. I assign setA, so you remind that it's a function which sets the value of A. It receives as parameter an integer, which we will call x. So you must specify what does it receive. It's public. It means that it can be used from the outside. Sometimes you may need to define private function, or function which can be used only by the contract itself. Then open curly bracket. As you can see, we use indentation. Unlike Python, here indentation is not functional. So you can, for example, you can write like this. Okay, but if you do like this, you are evil, because the people who read your program will have problems. So it works like this, but let's use indentation anyway, so it's better, it can be understand better. So very simply, what does function setA does is take the value that you pass as argument and put it into A. Finish. Semicolon. Doesn't return anything. It's a function which does not return anything. Okay, close the braces for the function and close the braces for the function. So very simple and easy contact. Let's see, the first thing you should do is compiling it. Once you set the correct compiler, click on, you can choose auto compile, but start to compile. Okay, I have here, let's delete this one, start to compile. Okay, when you have green, it's fine. Let's introduce a mistake just to see. Okay, can you see? Parse error expected. Okay, at line 4. You click here, you jump to line 4 and use it. Okay. Okay, when you get it compiled, it's here. So here you can see that the program has your contract has compiled correctly. Now it's ready to be put on the blockchain. Let's see the details. Okay, the name, some metadata, the compiler version, language is Solidity, the output, the settings, sources version. The bytecode is what really goes on the blockchain. This is what really goes on the blockchain. 60. Okay. This is a human readable version of what goes on the blockchain. Well, not so much human readable. These are the two things that you can do. We'll see them in a better way. And other technical stuff. Close. Okay. This is the bytecode, which is what really goes on the blockchain. I copied it to clipboard, but it's pretty useless. This is the ABI. This is very interesting. We'll see it later, however. Okay, once it's compiled, you can go to run. Okay. At this point, pay attention because you must have MetaMask working. So currently my MetaMask is working. Why do I use account 2? Let's use account 1 where I'm filthy rich. Okay. I use account 1 where I'm filthy rich. 37 Ether. Okay. So please go and I remind you that MetaMask must have as setting. Where is the setting here? I lost the setting. Setting. The privacy mode switch off. It took me 1 day to discover this thing, otherwise it doesn't work. Okay, you will see here automatically your own address. Let's see. 52F. Okay. Choose from, if you can choose JavaScript virtual machine. This is a blockchain which is only on your computer and will disappear as soon as you close the browser. It's for very testing. You can use it. It means for you, it's much faster than using the Rinkeby because it's a blockchain which is on your virtual machine. You can deploy the contract there, just make some interaction and it's fine. Okay, but it's not really a blockchain. You can use it for very fast testing. If you are building a very complex program, it's better to do the first testing using JavaScript virtual machine. Then you can switch to injected Web3. This is the Rinkeby. Okay, execution environment has been provided by MetaMask or similar provider. Okay, check that account is really yours. Okay, now we deploy the contract. Okay, so context first. Let's see, I have a guess limit of 300,000. Let's put 10 away. How much I paying to get? Let's check because I will check later also. I just introduce a huge gas limit. You know, to deploy the contract, we said before you need approximately 32,000 gas. I'm putting here a huge amount, 3 million. Who cares? First of all, because it's not money, and second, because I will pay only what is necessary. So I click on deploy. Okay, cross the fingers, deploy. Gas estimation. Why? Okay, let's leave 0 here. Deploy. Okay, if you leave 0, MetaMask will take care of it. Okay, fine. Okay, so let's see the details, however, of the gas fee. Click on edit. Okay, advanced. Okay, we are putting a gas limit of 100,011. Don't know why so much. Pay attention to the price you are paying. 10 is really too much. Can you see? It takes 174 minutes. The video will be very long. Let's pay much more. Okay, 10. If you want, you can switch to basic and just click here. Slow, average, fast. Or if you want precise check. So I usually pay around 10 gigawatt on the Rinkeby test network. Okay? So save. Confirm. I'm sending a real Ethereum transaction in which I will deploy the contract. So I'm sending something to the blockchain. Okay, it will be digitally signed from my account. It will go on all the other blockchain. A miner will take it, will confirm it, and will get the fee, which in this case is pretty low. Okay, everything fake because we are working on the Rinkeby test network. Can you see? But it's as if it were on the real network. So cross the finger, confirm, transaction send. Can you see? Creation of first is the name of the contract, pending. You can see it here, or you can wait for MetaMask to tell you, hey, I'm finished. See? This is on Etherscan, on Rinkeby Etherscan IO, can you see? Okay, it's currently pending. Okay, transaction confirmed. It's transaction 5 because I've already did other transaction before. Okay, let's see, let's refresh here. Okay, success. Okay. The important thing is this thing here. This is the address of the contract. So now the contract has its own address on the blockchain. It's 0xF9. All the Ethereum addresses start with 0x. F9, AB47, etc. etc. This is the address of the contract. It doesn't have any private key because the contract are not controlled by anybody. Okay. So now we have the contract on the blockchain. What can we do? You can go here, open it. And this is a little interface. I must move myself, sorry. Bye. Okay, it's a little interface. Okay, it's a little interface. We let you interact with the contract. You can do red things or green or blue things. Blue things are just calls. A call, it's something which does not use gas, so it's free. For each variable which is public, you have automatically a call which tells you the value of the variable. Now the variable has no value because nobody uses the function set A to set it. Each thing which is red instead is a transaction. You must pay a gas fee to do it. Now let's set the value of A. I go here, I set the value of A to 34. Okay, I click on it. When I click on it, I'm making another transaction, so I'm sending to the blockchain an information that in this smart contract, and you see there is the address of the smart contract here, function set A must be activated with argument 34. Function set A sets the value of A, so we'll see later on that A becomes 34. Click. Okay. I'm making a transaction, so MetaMask appears, tells me how much fee do I want to pay. And I say, do I always have to pay? Yes. As usual. It's really annoying that it doesn't save. Okay, confirm. Pam. This is the transaction. It's pending. Can you see this is a Rinkeby testnet transaction only, so not a real transaction. Still pending. Now MetaMask will tell me. This is the reason why I suggest you put a high gas price, otherwise you stay here forever. Okay, transaction confirmed, so I refresh. Okay, transaction has been done. Okay, can you see form, this is my address, and this is the smart contract address. Okay, let's see here. Now let's check the value of A using a call. This does not cost any gas. 34, you can see it's free, you can make as much as you want. You are inquiring the blockchain and checking what's happening. Okay, the difference between this one, this one you're just looking at the blockchain and see what's inside. This one you have to transmit to all the other blockchain and information. This is the reason why it costs gas. Okay, so this was a very, very first and easy contract. However, you can say it's stupid because you build something and you interact alone. Okay, can other people interact with my contract? Yes, other people can interact with my contract. How do they do? In order to interact with other people to interact with your contract, they need the ABI. The ABI is just a technical thing, just a script, okay, which tells more or less what's written here, but in a in a more machine readable format. Okay, so to interact with the contract you need the ABI. So I now copy the ABI into memory. Now I should go to another computer, but if I go to another computer you won't see the video anymore. So I just go to another browser. This is Chrome, I go to Firefox. So I'm on Firefox, Remix. This time I switch on MetaMask immediately. Before tomorrow, maybe. Okay, I switch to account 2. It's 072C5. Oh, okay, fine. Sometimes you have to switch off and on. So ABI at address, I have lost address. Give me the address of the contract. Okay, let's go to Firefox. Okay, address, Ctrl V. Okay. Yes, I want to interact, thank you. Okay, let's see the value of A, 34. I set A to 77. Okay, this time from account address 2, set A. Have to pay as usual. Let's pump the fees, so fast, thank you. If I choose fast, how much do I pay? 20. A lot. Okay, transaction send. So I'm interacting with the smart contract from another browser. Okay, let's wait for the confirmation. Come on. We look at the yes, editing. Transaction true. You can see transaction true because I'm doing it. Okay, has been included in the block, however it's done. So I go back to Chrome. Now the person on Chrome believes that it be 34, but the person on Firefox changes it, so let's check. 77. Okay, so other people can interact with the smart contract, they just need to know the ABI. Everything we are doing here now, it's very not user-friendly. I mean, it's not user-friendly, you cannot give a file to a person along the rest of person, but obviously needs to be integrated into an appropriate interface. We just are learning the very basic technology which is behind. Real application, you don't see the ABI, etc, etc. Okay, however, this is how to interact. Let's take a look at this the address, let's copy the address of the contract again. I want to take a look, oh no, it's here, okay. I want to take a look at the ether scan page of the contract. Look, this is the ether scan page of the contract. I have to move myself again. Okay, let's see which transaction happened. You see, from this address 52F, okay, we have the contract creation. From the same address, okay, I had another transaction which was a call to set A, and can you see from a different address, this was the transaction I did. Okay, each transaction sends 0 either. So this is what I told you before. Most of the time you will send 0 either to the contract because you just send information to the contract. Sometimes you send also either, we will do it. In that case, the either that you send the contract will be stored in a balance, in the balance of the contract. Okay. Okay, let's switch to the second one. Okay, the second one is identical to first. I just added 2 things. This one, a couple of things. string, it's a string variable, public, location, and the difference is that now when I deploy the contact, automatically location is set to Bozen. You could have done it before with, for example, like this. Okay. But I decided not to do it. This time instead I decide when I deploy the contact, location by default starts being equal to Bozen. This is a function we have already seen. This is a function which is very similar. Let's decrease. We can also switch here. Okay. Function set location. Okay. String x public location. It's identical to this one. It's to set the value of location. Or if you don't have this function, it will be impossible to set the location. Remember that once you deploy a contact, it's not possible to change it anymore. So that contact is gone. It's there. Okay. And this is a nice function. Usually we get the value of a or the value of location since there are two public variables. This is a function which gets, just as an exercise, double the value of a. Okay. It's different from this one. These are set functions, a get function. Where is the difference? Both are public, it means that can be called from outside. Here I specify view. What does view mean? View means that it does not change the blockchain, it does not change the state of any variable, it just looks at them. And it means that you don't pay. So this function will be called using a call and not a transaction. It means that you don't pay. You don't pass any argument. Okay. Public returns int means that the function will return an integer value. Yes, because you must get. And pay attention because it's returns and not return. Okay, and the function returns 2 times a. Okay, you could do like this, for example, temp equal 2 by a, and return temp. Okay. However, if you do like this, you need another variable temp, and this variable may cost you. Okay. So be stingy with the variables because everything costs on the blockchain. Okay, so 2 by a doesn't cost. Okay. Okay. So we have another function. We have another variable. It's pretty similar. Okay, let's do everything again. First of all, let's see which account am I using. Account 1. Okay, fine. I will deploy. Yeah, I have to compile it first. So I compile it. 2 warnings. Let's see. I put myself on the other side. Goodbye. Well, it's just warning that set location can be infinite, but don't worry. It's not guessed that you are paying, so okay, ignore the warning. Second, I have compiled. Now, pay attention that you deploy second and not first. So second, I will deploy. I have to pay the fee as usual. Fast, thank you. Confirm. Okay. Let's wait for the transaction to be confirmed. Have to find a way to post the video. Okay, transaction confirmed. It's here. Can use this second. Now to interact with first, you go here. Interact with second. Pay attention that first and second are 2 completely different contacts. If you set A here, it's not the same as setting A here. So 2 completely different contacts. So let's forget about first. I will even remove it. And we have second here. Just to play something, let's get the value for location, Bozen, change it to quotation, Meran, close quotation. Press, can you see it's modifies the blockchain, so you must pay, edit, fast, thank you, confirm. Confirmed. Come on. I have to pay even more. Consider that each block is mined every 12 seconds approximately. Okay, confirmed. So let's get the location, Meran. Okay. You can get A, which is currently 0 because we never set it. 4, set A, transaction, edit, fast, Save, confirm. Okay, done. Let's check the value of A. Done at all. Oh, it's not done. Let me see the transaction on the blockchain. Okay, done, confirmed. Okay, now it's value of A 4. Okay, get double A. This is a function. Even though it's a function, I'm not going to pay because it's been declared as view and does not modify the blockchain. You cannot cheat, declare as view and then modify the blockchain here. So get double A 8. Okay. Well, you can interact with this content using the other browser. Okay, as usual, getting the ABI and getting that from here and getting the address of the contract from here. Okay. Pay attention because the address of the contract is different. It's another contract. Okay, let's complicate the thing a little bit more. Third is identical to second. Let's see which differences to almost identical. You know, when a professor say it's identical, doesn't mean that it's really the same. Okay, so these two variables, we have already seen them. Okay, we have another variable. Oops. Okay, let's put it before. Address owner. Let's put it after. Okay, address owner. This is a variable of type address. Okay, it's a variable used to identify the owner of the contract. Because once your contract is deployed on the blockchain, there is no relation anymore with its owner. Okay, but sometimes we would like a specific person, or better, a specific address, to be able to do something which other people cannot do. For example, get all the money out from the contract, or destroy the contract, or change some variables which can be changed only by the owner. So we need to store somehow who is the owner of the contract. Because by itself, when the contract is deployed, the contract is perfectly public. It's owned by everybody. So everybody can do everything which is public and nobody can do anything else. So this is usually a little trick to identify who is the owner. Now in this contract, we'll only identify the owner, nothing else. Okay. But then later on, the owner will have some privileges that other people don't. The three functions are exactly the same as before. Okay. We have another special function. The function is not called function, it's called constructor. Okay. Constructor is a function which is automatically executed when you deploy the contract, and only when you deploy the contract. It's not possible to execute it later on. So it's called constructor because the function which constructs the contract. Usually what the constructor do, you can do whatever you want in the constructor, but usually it sets the value of some variables. In this case, you submit v1 and v2, an integer and a string, and it puts v1 in A and v2 in location. Can you see, I'm not setting location equal to both anymore. I'm building it using the constructor. And we do a third thing, owner. So we set the variable owner to message sender. Message sender, it's a global variable, it exists by default, and it's the address of the person who deployed the contract. Okay, let's declare it public, so we'll be able to see it. Although if I don't declare it public, it will be funny, because even the owner won't be able to see that he is the owner. Okay, so let's declare it public. So if you don't declare public, if you, for example, don't declare location public, nobody will be able to see the location, because there is no get location. So if you don't declare it public. Okay, let's declare owner public so everybody will be able to see. Okay, so we added basically this thing here and the concept of the owner, which is usually set up in the constructor. So the owner will be set up here and won't be changed anymore. Can you see there is no set owner? So the owner can't be changed anymore. Okay, so compile. I get rid of second. Start to compile. With some warnings that we ignore. Run. Let's deploy. Delete everything else just to avoid confusion. Can you see when you deploy now, you can deploy empty, but probably you can, but it's not a good idea because you have to specify values. 37, comma, and bricks. Okay. Deploy. transaction, let's pump the fees, confirm. Let's wait for the confirmation. This time we not only deploy the contract, we also set three variables, A, location and owner. Confirmed, so you have it here. I have to move myself. Okay, so let's see, owner, just for my curiosity, it's a call. Oh my god, there is a mistake. Location, Brixen, A, 37, and why owner? Ah, okay, no, it was not really confirmed, so now owner I can get, this is my address, 52F9, 52F9. It will be used later, for example, I can say that the value of location can be changed only if the person making the request is address 52F9. Okay, so it's a way to remember who's now owner cannot be changed anymore. Can you see we don't have a set owner? Okay, it's fixed, so it's the owner of the account. Okay. As usual, to interact with it using other browser, you must use the ABI. In case you've forgotten, I repeat, you must use the ABI. So, ABI. Okay. You must use the contact address. You must get the contact address. Here, the contact address. No, I want to change it. Oh, wait, this thing. Okay. Now, what's the mess here? Can I clean everything before tomorrow? Maybe like this. Yeah, it's faster. Okay, let's get the address again. I hate the Mac with this way to copy. Apple V. Yes, I want to interact with it. Okay. Owner. The other, can you see? The other one. Okay. If now I had something such as if the person is not the owner, don't set the location. AA 74 location Brixen A. Okay, so this, I don't make any transaction. Let's make a transaction. Set A 44. Set A transaction. Edit the fees. Fast. Save. Confirm. Let's wait for the confirmation. If you're asking why I don't look at you, it's because the camera is on the screen. So, okay. That's it. The value of A 44. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. The video ends here. Goodbye.